Welcome back, everyone, to GGN. This is part 3 for this news report today for Friday, April 26, 2013. My website is ggnonline.com. Most of you know, but if you don't know, now you know. YouTube, DARPA 2012 and DARPA 2013 are my YouTube channels, and if you'd like to help by donating, the only option right now is PayPal until I get a P.O. box, so maybe I'll try Bitcoin or something, but if you have any other ideas, that's the only thing I have right now, but alright, and thank you for those that have helped. Google reports record spike in government requests to remove content. So most of you know about Google. It's everywhere, and it's probably a front company for either the agencies, NSA, CIA, whatever. There's all kinds of different agencies that we've never even heard of. Internet giant details requests for material to be pulled from YouTube Blogger service and from Google search. Governments made a record number of requests for Google to remove political content in the last half of 2012, the search giant said on Thursday. I wonder if this has to do with my stuff, because my videos weren't even visible on Blogger. For a while there, I had to switch to Vimeo. The number of requests for content to be removed jumped 26% in the final 6 months of 2012 compared to the start of the year. Says a registry system is being set up to track your vaccination status. The CDC has been quietly rolling out a nationwide program called Immunization Information Systems. Registering your vaccine information into a database, this effort has been run in parallel with the state vaccine registry implementations. It says a colleague and writer and director of the movie The Greater Good wrote in a recent article the CDC has openly stated that vaccine registries are a tool to identify areas of under-vaccination so that they can be addressed and brought into compliance. They'd also added the statement, since the government purchases a large bulk of vaccines, it is in their financial interest to make sure vaccines are consumed regularly. If you exempt your child from being vaccinated, your refusal is also being tracked and put into databases. I saw this article from the 25th, your genetic makeup to be stored without consent for profit. So it says GeneWatch UK, the director said, and warned at a Med Confidential event in London that beyond electronically storing patient records, the next step for the UK is linking these records with DNA and genetic information in an all-in-one database. So this would be the first time. Remember, DNA database created for babies' blood samples. Millions of newborn babies have had their DNA stored by hospitals without the proper consent of their parents. It's been revealed. So they've already been doing it. Big Brother has a new face, and it's your boss. Recently, CVS Caremark Corporation began requiring employees to disclose personal health information, including weight, blood pressure, and body fat levels, or else pay an annual $600 fine. Workers must make this information available to the company's employee wellness program, they call it wellness program, and to sign a form stating that they're doing it voluntarily. So this is why I'm not for capital punishment or euthanasia, because it's being carried out by the state. And what they're going to do is they're going to call it voluntary. So euthanasia, they'll say like, well, you can't find a job unless you sign this contract, which way at the bottom it says we can euthanize you at any time. And you do, and if it's done, it will be done by your consent. You will be doing this voluntarily. So there's all kinds of things where they can get people into that euthanasia loophole where you just to be able to do anything, you have to sign this contract which says they can euthanize you at any time. And they say, well, he did it voluntarily. DARPA cyber chief Mudge Zatko heads to Google. The noted hacker and innovator Peiter Mudge Zatko, a project manager for cybersecurity research at DARPA for the past 3 years, will be setting up shop in Googleplex, according to a post on his Twitter feed. So there you go. If you have any doubts about Google's invested interests, where they come from, who they represent. Apple and Google keep voice application data for 2 years. It's no secret Apple hangs on to your Siri data for some length of time, but it hasn't been clear exactly how long it keeps that data. This says Wired has now cleared up somewhat, though, hearing from Apple spokesman that the company may keep Siri data for up to 2 years. The Financial Times has confirmed with Google that it too keeps your voice search data for up to 2 years. Okay, next up, immigration bill contains MarcoPhones. We talk about Obama phone, get a free phone, because they want to be able to track you easier, and you do it voluntary. You voluntarily give out your location, what you're talking about. It's insane. There's actually programs now for sleep, and I've talked about this. I mentioned this briefly before about how I noticed somebody was like, hey, look at this, there's a program online, and you enter on your smartphone about, oh, this is what I ate, this is when I ate it, this is how much I ate of it, this is how many calories it was. You know what I mean? It's insane. People are uploading exactly what they're eating, when they're eating, and all that to this online database to their smartphones, and they're doing it voluntarily. Then I just saw something yesterday. Like, oh yeah, my sleep efficiency. You can go online. They have an online website and everything. You do it through your smartphone about when you fell asleep and how long you slept for and how many times you woke up. I mean, this is some insane things that are happening, and it's all voluntary. This 844-page immigration reform bill, the bipartisan Gang of Eight dropped in the dead of night, contains a lucrative handout that would give taxpayer-funded free cell phones to some people who live or work near the U.S. border with Mexico. So it says here, this Manjares first found the immigration bill's free cell phone goodies and dubbed the handout the MarcoPhone. Move over Obama phone, we present the new Hola, ¿cómo está? MarcoPhone. He wrote on Wednesday morning. Nothing really changes here. Rubio is basically the one that's been pushing it, I guess. It says, interestingly, TracFone, a company that will likely benefit from this type of government program, is based in Rubio's Miami, Florida. So, like I said, who votes for the president? Who votes for these people? Companies, corporations. Hispanics predicted to become majority in California in 2014. They will soon become the dominant ethnic group in the nation's most populous state, marking a milestone in the country's shifting racial and ethnic composition. So this follows what? Racist gangs took over L.A. County Sheriff's Department, deputies claim from the 26th. Deputies at an L.A. County Sheriff's Department allege that their superiors are members of white supremacist gangs and have taken extensive measures to hide at least one inmate from the FBI. So they have jointly filed a lawsuit alleging that the department hid an inmate from the FBI, covering up an incident involving a skinhead deputy threatened to kill the deputies for exposing their gang involvement and called them race traitors and snitches. So an inappropriate relationship exists between certain LAPD personnel and various inmate jail gangs, especially white supremacists, states the complaint. They said that the LAPD personnel use these jail gangs as proxies or agents to retaliate against other deputies and inmates. Within these inappropriate alliances, the gangs are given certain privileges that are otherwise legally precluded from them.